AfterBuzz TV, starting place to the likes of WWE female superstars Kathy Kelly, Sonya Deville, and Zelina Vega proudly presents Women's Wrestling Weekly, the world's first podcast and YouTube series dedicated exclusively to women's wrestling, featuring all the latest news as well as interviews with top superstars in the industry. And now, AfterBuzz TV's own gorgeous lady of wrestling, TK Trinidad.
Bonjour, you're watching Women's Wrestling Weekly, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, aka the Canadian Assassin, and I am not alone. She hails from the valley. She is the farmer's daughter, allegedly. Please welcome Emily May.
Hi, TK.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
We have an amazing show like we always do because we are the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. That's just as is, fact. We're going to do Star of the Week, we're going to do news, but we have an amazing guest. The doctor is in the building. Well, on the show, that is. She is currently signed to AEW. Please welcome Britt Baker.
Hey there, what's up, guys?
Hi, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks
Appreciate
for having me. Excuse me, I literally had no time to change and get like super cool looking for you guys, so I'm still in my dental scrubs, literally. Just walked to the door from the office.
Well, that is perfect because that was one of my questions because, you know, we know that you're a dentist. Mm-hmm. My question was, like, how do you balance the two? And I'm seeing you in scrubs, so you're able to do that. But how do you do it?
Pretty much how you see it. I know what my tasks for the day are, boom, 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 and you can't think, you just do. Because if you think about everything you have to do for the day, that's when you start driving yourself crazy and thinking that you can't do it. But if you just, stay headstrong and it's just, you don't give yourself an option, you have to do it all, and then magic happens and it all just works out.
And what does your dentist office think about this, about you being a wrestler?
They're super, super supportive, and I was kind of I was worried at first because not everyone thinks wrestling is cool. Some people think we're the biggest weirdos on the planet. So I was nervous at first to tell them, and specifically when I took this new job, I knew that I was signing with AEW, and I knew I was going to have to be out of the office on most Wednesdays. But obviously not all Wednesdays, because if we're not needed for TVs with Dynamite, we just stay home, which is for me. Dream come true because I can work my job. Mm-hmm. My dental office is so understanding. We have an understanding that on Wednesdays the office is closed, and if that means we work 4 10-hour days, so be it.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. So tell me about the news when you found out about AEW and they wanted to sign you. How did that happen?
Well, we all, everyone was kind of hearing the rumbles that something was coming. And, I heard the same thing that everyone else did on Twitter through the grid, like, oh, maybe this is happening. And then eventually the Bucks and Brandy and Cody, because I was doing Ring of Honor shows at the time too, not signed or anything, no contract, just in and out Ring of Honor shows. And then I finally got a call from Brandy right around Christmas last year saying, hey, this is happening and we want you. So what do we need to do to make this work? And it was really easy. Like I was nervous because my requirements were like, I need to practice dentistry. And I went to school for 8 years and I could not sleep at night knowing I just threw that degree out the window to, live my professional wrestling dream every single week. But, I always dreaded the day where I was going to have to pick and choose one of them. And so I kind of just said, I don't want to have to give this up. And Brandy was awesome about it. And Tony was awesome. And even to this day, they're super understanding. On Thursday mornings, I take the first flight home from Dynamite and straight to the dentist's office. And they get me literally on the first flight from that airport.
Wow, that's dedication.
That is dedication. But I definitely agree. You put
Or
in 8 years.
insanity, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, passion.
I mean, the fact that you're passionate about both, and the fact that you get to do both is incredible.
Now, another balancing is your boyfriend, Adam Cole, is with a different promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Super crazy schedules on both sides. So he has a crazy schedule, you're a dentist, and then you fly in and out. How do you make that work?
Well, so for his NXT schedule, it actually works out because they're running on Wednesdays. When we run on Wednesdays, it's sad. It sucks because we don't get to watch each other live. We don't get to be there for each other. But as far as traveling wise, it kind of works because then we at least have the time home together. Right. He's been having a lot of last minute crazy opportunities pop up where he literally got called to SmackDown the day of SmackDown, and he was on the plane at 5:30 for an 8 o'clock show. So, and then, Raw. So right now it's been crazy. I've seen him very minimally the last few days, but it always works and we always make it work. Even if he's, flying here to meet me, either I'm flying there to meet him, we always make it work.
Is there competition in the house though? I mean, it's still...
There's always competition in the house, and definitely more so for me. He's not as competitive as I am, and I don't even. It's mostly friendly competition, which is hilarious because he's a big video gamer. So you'd think that he'd be all about, I got to win this, got to win that. But I'm more of the, poking the bear, friendly competition thing than he is.
Teasing him a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys like watch each other's shows and then like give each other feedback?
Yeah, I mean, I don't give him quite as much wrestling feedback as he gives me at this point in my career, but he is absolutely the best. He has helped me more than anybody in my career to this day, with wrestling, with promos, with like locker room advice, with things that just come up that I need advice on. He's been doing this for 11 years, so he's got it down. He's one of the best in the world, and I say I'm one of the luckiest girls in the world because I have like the best mentor possible right now, and it's someone that genuinely cares and loves me, and they're going to tell me the truth, and they're going to tell me how it is, whether I want to hear it or not, because he wants to look out for me.
Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I don't want to say you're new to the game because you're not, but I remember
kind of, right?
I'm
but 4 years in, yeah.
Yeah, but your rise has been crazy. And, it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, I just want to be a wrestler and that person can't wrestle. You can legitimately wrestle. And I've heard your name spoken in several different circles. One of them in particular was the All In with Madison Rayne, Chelsea Green, and Tessa Blanchard. Tell me about that experience. I think we actually spoke to Madison Rayne and Chelsea Green about it. But watching it, it was just such an amazing match. And then, right after that, the end of the year, you get signed to AEW. So, I mean, that speaks to your talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say that All In for me was kind of that's where people learned who Britt Baker was. That's where, most of my fans today did not know who I was before All In. That was my first big pedestal to perform on. And, Chelsea, Madison, Tessa, they had all been on some sort of TV at that point, and I really hadn't, unless you want to count like WWE squash matches, but I really didn't have any type of competitive platform where people would know who I was. So I was definitely the underdog going in there. I was kind of like maybe more eyes on me because they're like, well, who's this girl? Why is she on this card in this match? So I mean, I'm nervous, but I was so.
Oh, I think we're good. Can you hear us?
Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Did I cut off?
Yeah, it was just a
little bit.
It was just a little bit, but we're good. So let's talk more about AEW. What is the game plan for AEW? Like, what do you envision your storyline? What do you want to do there? What's the game plan?
I feel like for me personally, like I'm along for the ride with the people, kind of, because I'm so new to everything. I've never been on TV before. I don't claim to have ever been on TV before. And it's like baptism by fire. I go from working indie shows every weekend to being on the back of a semi truck with the AEW logo on it. So for me, it's like, holy cow. With that being said, I have the best support possible backstage at AEW. I mean, the mentors, the producers, the agents, they are so awesome. I cannot say enough good things about them. They want us all to succeed, and they want us all to succeed quickly. We have so many resources, and I really feel like at AEW, if you don't, rise to the top, or if you don't take advantage of those resources, it's really your own loss because they're there. You just got to reach out and grab them. But I like it that I'm newer because this is a newer brand. I'm someone that the fans might not be super familiar with, but they're not super familiar with AEW because it's new. So right. I kind of like to think that, I'm in it with the fans too. Like I hope that I'm the girl they're rooting for.
Okay. So I'm not a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
However, when somebody asks you that question, you're supposed to say, I want the belt.
I do want the belt.
Okay.
But but it's the story and it's the journey, and that's why I know you're not a wrestler because you didn't know that. No, I'm just kidding.
I just think I want the belt and the story and the journey.
Everyone wants the belt, but you have a journey to get there.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. I want the long-term success, not the hot shot success.
Yeah,
the short term.
Yeah,
the short term, like get the belt and then that's it.
Yes, of course you want the storyline. I just want a little bit more smoke. Like I'm coming. I'm taking the belt. It might not be today.
She wants
give it time. I got some battles to pick and choose until I got to go for the belt. And I had my shot at the belt and I didn't win yet, but that's okay because I got to take care of some business this weekend at Full Gear.
Nice.
Yeah. So what, you have some amazing talent backstage that you're working with. Is there some advice that they've given you, as you premiere on television for the first time and now that you're doing it weekly?
Yes. Particularly Kenny Omega is always so extremely helpful to the women's division. Dustin Rhodes and, Cody Rhodes too. Cody's always gorilla, ready to go, ready to tell you anything and everything. But I don't really want to give away because it's kind of personal because all their advice is really, really hits home and it's something I'm always going to take with me. But I'm just going to say, those people are really impactful to me.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it. So we have AEW Full Gear coming up. You're going against B. Presley. What can we look forward in seeing in that match?
This is gonna be a battle. So it's no secret. B gave me a concussion at our first time we ever stepped in the ring together. B's first step in an AEW ring was get in, step, kick, concussion to me. So you're trying to keep it as fan friendly possible right now, but there's definitely a little bad blood there. And I just, I kind of put it all out there with the promo that we just released last night. And I really feel everything that I said in that. I was severely concussed to the point where I couldn't go to work for a week. I lost all peripheral vision on my left eye. And there was, had to go see retinal specialists, neuro-ophthalmologist. I mean, like things that I had to go see specialists I didn't even know existed. And I'm in the medical world. So, that was hard. That was a physical and a mental challenge, like a little hill for me to overcome. And then that's always in the back of your mind. Like, well, what if it happens again? What if it happens again? Granted, I know we're putting our bodies at risk every time we step into the ring. But I just think that it was very she didn't give a damn to for lack of better words. And I don't think she cares about really anybody's well-being except for herself. So there's a way of being, competitive, and then there's others that are just reckless. So with that being said, I'm definitely watching my back this weekend, but she better watch hers too.
Ooh, I like that. So after you finish demolishing her, what do you have a list of folks that you wanna have matches with? Not necessarily tomorrow, but these are the names that eventually I want to get to.
Sure, Sheeta. One of the Joshi talents that has come to us and is she moved here. She's in, I don't know where she's living, but she's in the United States now. She is tremendous. I think her the aura around her, I think she's so cool. She's a badass in the ring. She's absolutely killer, and I would love to lock up against her someday.
Okay. So we're going to finish up with some rapid hot tags. I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Women's Wrestling Rapid Hot Tag.
So are you always early or always late?
Late.
What is the one thing you love about yourself?
My teeth.
They should be good teeth because you're a dentist.
Great smile.
Who would play you in a movie?
Ooh. Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, I like that. Last show you binge watched?
I'm doing it right now. 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, I'm kind of scared to watch that show.
Yeah.
But
It's scary.
Yeah. If you were a crayon, what color would you be?
Burgundy.
And if you were to listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, Queen Greatest Hits.
Boom. I love it. There you go. Nice and simple. But I mean, your life, you are an amazing individual, 2 careers.
You're such an inspiration
to
so many women and men that are watching out trying to balance 2 careers.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. It
and
is
make it
hard,
happen.
but like I said, you just gotta don't think, just do. Don't dwell too much on how hard it is every day. You'll drive yourself crazy.
I like that. I'm going to take that with me. I need
like
that.
it, yeah.
Thank you
Good
so
reminder.
much. We look forward to this weekend. We look forward to your domination. We look forward to you having the belt and all
Yes.
that great stuff. Thank you so much. And where can
Awesome.
people follow you, just in case they're not following you? You guys should be following her.
I'm at Real Britt Baker, I think, on everything. So it's pretty easy.
Boom. There it is.
Thank
You're
you.
absolutely amazing, and good luck to for everything.
Awesome. Thanks, girls.
No problem. Bye.
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 Oh my gosh, she's so.
Oh my God,
I needed that.
I did. I needed that inspiration session.
Yeah, I've been like working like a dog, and I'm
You
just
have,
like, oh
yeah.
my God, I can't do it. And it's like she went to school for 8 years, and
Yeah.
she's wrestling.
It
and
put things into perspective that you can follow multiple passions at the same time.
and have a
do
significant
great.
other doing great things
and have
too.
a significant other. That's
I'm absolutely inspired. So we are going to get into the news. Actually, Star of the Week real quick.
Star of the Week. Yeah. All right, so you can't mention WWE or wrestling without bringing up Natalya.
So let's do some different pictures.
Different
Natalya.
pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. I was like, wait a second.
We'll get to Natalya.
We'll
Let's
get
talk
to
about
Natalya. So
Fellow
we'll get to
Canadian,
her.
by the way.
Fellow Canadian, I knew you would like that, TK.
Yes.
Former SmackDown Women's Champion, Divas Champion. She's totally a pioneer and legend in the WWE brands and on the independent circuit. She's almost over 20 years in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
She has the personality, the grace, the experience, the athleticism, and has adapted over time in this industry in order to create storylines for herself that are impactful and meaningful. For example, she just did the big Saudi Arabia match against Lacey Evans. She made history in that. It was a moment that I think we all took in and we all appreciated. That was a many of firsts for her that she's just going to continue to do. She's a trailblazer, and that is why Natty from Canada is our Star of the Week.
Oh my gosh, I got to meet her very briefly backstage at SmackDown, I think a year ago or so, and absolutely, she asked us how we were doing, and she didn't need to do that because we were at catering, and she's gonna wrestle. Such a amazing spirit. And I definitely love watching her on Total Divas.
Yeah, and I feel like she takes everyone under her wing and it's just helps guide them.
Yeah, a heart of gold, and then I think almost too much to extent based off of Total Divas. I obviously don't know her personally, but almost too much to the extent where people that kind of take advantage of her.
I wish you did. I think we're gonna grab all the Canadian wrestlers.
I mean, I think that would be here's the thing. There's a lot of. So I'm gonna go on a little monologue now.
Uh-oh.
There's a
I
lot
started
of.
something.
I know, right? There's so many. I was talking to Emily before we started the show. It's Canada. We have so many wrestlers and so many hockey players, and in particular, in doing this show, #1 women's wrestling show on the planet, there's a lot of female Canadian wrestlers, and I think it'd be awesome if you get them together. You could almost do a Canada versus America thing,
or do a Christmas ice skating tour wrestling. Right?
Yeah.
Right? They do just
From
a
all the
special
promotions,
from all the
yeah.
promotions.
That would be great.
Do a holiday special.
Yeah.
And
a
then
little tour thing.
Yeah.
I definitely like Gail Kim, Angelina Love, Natty. You have Renee and myself announcing because include myself.
I'll be producing it. I'll produce it.
I mean, it's just so many. There's so many amazing.
We're gonna make this happen.
I think it should happen, especially before. I know Gail Kim is out, but I think she would come back for this, or at least do something.
Do something.
Do
Surprise.
something. So I'm for it. Now we are going to get to the news.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, the first story of the week. WWE 205 is going to air on the WWE Network from Full Sail University. This is from ProWrestling.com. This week, WWE 205 Live will emanate from the very arena where Finn Balor made his shocking NXT return. And superstars like Samoa Joe and Nakamura, where they began their WWE careers. So the NXT arena, which now they're billing it as, from Full Sail University, will air immediately following Friday Night SmackDown on the WWE Network.
So I am... I think we talked about this last week when Amber O'Neil was... it's just a lot of wrestling. I was hoping that 205 would fold into NXT. But also shout out to a former co-host of the show, Evan. He got into a little bit of smoke with Triple H. So I hope he does go down to the NXT Performance Center to, show the stuff.
That would be a good episode of WWE Bump with him at the PC.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely go and check out WWE The Bump. That is where Evan is. He's signed to WWE. He's doing an amazing job. So, he was still a little NXT smack talking to Triple H.
And we're not sure really what roster, the lineup for the roster for this, coming up. So we'll see.
Well, I kind of feel like with 205 and NXT, because it's 2 hours now, you can definitely fold that in. And why segregate those individuals? I mean, we saw a 205 live show. I don't know. There was one time where the whole Raw panel went to SmackDown. We saw 205 live, and it's just like, who are some of these people? Some of them I knew, but a lot of them I didn't know because I don't watch 205. I literally don't have enough time to watch 205 live. So, I definitely would love for them to either fold them into NXT or even have some of them traveling, because they're definitely
do like a little
on that caliber to do that. So, we'll see.
All right. And so going into our second story, so WWE announced the expanded partnership with Saudi Arabia, and this, WWE official press announcement, following the historic Crown Jewel event in Riyadh, WWE and Saudi General Entertainment Authority have expanded their live event partnership through 2027 to include a second annual large-scale event. And, again, this came from, on the tail end of a very tumultuous weekend, which has been all over the news, all over Twitter. It was historical and yet tumultuous, where superstars got stuck and were trying to make it home. And
that story is crazy. If you check out the social media shoot on Mondays.
There you go. Plug your
I know, right? I talked about it, and it's there. I only could give a brief synopsis of what happened. It's still allegations. You have people like Carl Anderson saying that he doesn't want to go. He said it jokingly, but his wife's like, and we're not about that. We had AJ talk about the whole situation on his, I guess, kind of podcast of sort. But it's kind of weird to me because there's just so much turmoil with Saudi Arabia.
In that region.
And you do have some wrestlers who don't want to go. Yeah. But is it just, the bigger wrestlers that are able to opt out? And is WWE making other wrestlers go? How is that going to play out?
It's going to be interesting, as you said, to see what plays out and who's going to be going, for the next shows. And, I think it is, you're balancing entertainment, but these are real people. They have families,
right?
Families that were trying to get in touch with them. And,
I mean, the good news is that nothing crazy has happened to the wrestlers. Yeah. I mean, the whole stuff prior to when WWE signed it, there was, issues with journalists and them disappearing and a lot of other things. If you watch John Oliver Last Night Tonight, he breaks it down to exactly what happened and what led up to the issue with why WWE shouldn't have signed with Saudi Arabia. But we're here now, and I don't think the wrestlers' lives are in jeopardy, but given, what's associated with Saudi Arabia, it's definitely one of those things where it's just like, do I want to take the chance? Yeah. But it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But that was our big news story. Also, our third news story, WWE reported that Scarlett Bordeaux and Shotzi Blackheart and Indy Hartwell have been signed to the Performance Center. And so they're going to start training and starting the NXT.
I think was she on May? Help me out in the chat. I don't think was she on Mae Young, or she just did a squash match. But I believe she was on WWE in some capacity. She's amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. And then Scarlett Bordeaux from Impact. She is. I haven't seen Impact in a year because it hasn't been on TV, but it's on TV now, so I'm happy about that. But up until that point, I believe January of 2019 this year, I hadn't seen her wrestle, but her mic skills and how she carries herself and her character is very intriguing. So I'm definitely looking forward to that and how they're going to play that up. So, we'll see.
Awesome. So that's our news of the week.
That is the news of the week. So much stuff going on.
So much happening. I can't keep track.
I know. And then also, ROH also is going to be on TV too, starting November 8th.
Sinclair Broadcasting.
On Sinclair Broadcasting. So there's going to be a lot of wrestling, and I finally have been able to catch up on SmackDown. And a lot of people have been telling me SmackDown's not that great, but I'm actually enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, with this past Friday, with NXT stars invading, you gotta watch it. You gotta check it out.
Yeah, that was amazing. And then even AEW, I'm catching up on that. Like, I'm trying to slowly catch up on everything. But it's just great wrestling, and MLW I heard is very good too. Zeta Zhang is on there. I think it's MLW. Zeta Zhang made an appearance, and I definitely need to catch that match because she's been on the show twice, and she's definitely a friend of the show. So there's just a lot of wrestling going on, and I'm definitely happy for the different incarnations of it. So you have WoW with women's wrestling, and it's a little bit more out there, and you have AEW, which is a little bit more, I don't know if the right word's realistic, but it's not as crazy as a la Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely, it's going to be an interesting, 2020 is going to be definitely an interesting year, especially with the AEW WWE semi-feud going on.
I wouldn't say it's a feud, but I think the opportunities are out there, and I think wrestling fans should just embrace that we have all these amazing promotions that we get to enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's a special year, and I think 2020 is going to be even more incredible.
Yeah, and the key word is enjoy. Like, I
enjoy
definitely,
it,
there are certain things that you should voice your opinion on, obviously, because this is the culture that we're in. But the fact that a lot of whatever scale there are, big time wrestlers or not, they're putting their body on the line for entertainment. So definitely appreciate that. But just appreciate the fact that all these promotions are putting on these events.
Yeah, spectacular shows for the fans, for you, and again, everyone can disagree with storylines, disagree with, specific matches and how they turn out, but I think, we're all in this together. It's a crazy world, and, we just have to, be together and enjoy it.
The key word is disagree or agree with storylines. That's how you know it's a good storyline.
Exactly.
Because if you hate the storyline, that means that they're doing something good. Or if you like the storyline, that means they're doing something.
If you keep talking about it, you know it's good.
Yeah, a la Lana and Rusev. Oh, my God.
That's for another time.
That is for another time. I am interested to see what's going to happen with that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's on Raw and WWE.
On Raw, yeah.
And definitely check out the Raw after show on AfterBuzz TV. However, thank you, Britt Baker, for coming on the show. It's been amazing. I had spoke to Bobby Shabinsky. I think I said his name properly. She did an event for him a while ago, so we were trying to get her on the show last year, and then All In happened. So I'm just so happy to see the progression, and then we were finally actually able to talk to her, right time, right place, all that good stuff. And also shout out to Courtney from AEW for making these AEW interviews happen, and then putting female wrestlers on, the spotlight.
Yeah, in the forefront.
In the forefront
of all
of
of our conversations.
That's what we do. Where can everybody find you, Miss Emily May?
So you all can find me on all social media channels at Emily May Heller. That's MAE.
And thank you guys so much for watching this show and all our other shows. We are approaching, I believe, the 90th show, but don't quote me. We're going to hit 100 eventually, very soon. So thank you for making us the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Make sure you're following us on all social medias at WPW Weekly. We're going to have some new stuff on social media coming up, aside from the interviews and birthdays and all that good stuff. So definitely check that out. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to us on iTunes, give us 5 stars or better. On any other platform, make sure to leave your comments. We definitely read them. We definitely listen to them. And if they're not responding in a timely manner, you can DM me at TK Trinidad on all social media platforms as well. Thank you guys again for watching the show. Until next week, ciao.
Bye.
From executive producer Keven Undergaro, producer TK Trinidad, and me, Maria Menounos, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Women's Wrestling Weekly. To help TK, the crew, and women's wrestling in general, we ask that you subscribe, rate, and comment on Women's Wrestling Weekly at Apple Podcasts, and subscribe to our AfterBuzz TV wrestling channel on YouTube for this and other outstanding wrestling content. Buzz you later.